conditions the quest of this administration to bequest a lasting legacy. We have implemented high-impact projects across the length and breadth of the country that meet the yearnings and aspirations of Nigerians. Some of the notable achievements include the completion of the 326 kilometers of rail line and 12 station buildings for Itape-Ajakuta Warrior line, the railway ancillary facilities, completion of 156.5 kilometer Lagos-Ibadan standard gauge rail modernization project with 6.5 kilometers extension to Lagos Port, Apapa, and 10 station buildings. Development of 387 kilometers Kano Katsina Jibia Maradi in Niger, with a branch line from Kano to Dutse and 20 station buildings, rehabilitation and reconstruction of 300 units of houses at the railway village in Abo in Delta State. On road projects, this administration has constructed 408 kilometers of bridges, roads, 2,575 kilometers of sukuk roads, and maintenance of 16,497 kilometers of roads across the country through the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing. Key among these projects are the construction of 1.9 kilometer, now named Muhammadu Buhari Bridge, linking Anambra and Delta States, with a 10.30 kilometer approach road, rehabilitation, construction and expansion of Lagos-Shagamu-Ibadan dual carriageway, which is at 57.64% completion. The ongoing rehabilitation of Abuja-Kaduna-Zaria-Kano Road, construction of Ikom Bridge, which is part of the project that Mr. President commissioned 2 days ago, construction of Loco Oweto Bridge in Benue and other states, amongst others. In addition, the federal government has embarked on the reconstruction of 44 federal roads with a total length of 4,554 kilometers, and of the 11 new roads totaling 732 kilometers recently approved by the Federal Executive Council under the Road Infrastructure Development and Refurbishment. Of 2.25 in the third quarter of 2022 and a 3.98% in the fourth quarter of 2021. With this, Nigeria has witnessed 9 consecutive quarters of growth after negative rates recorded in the second and third quarters of 2020. The growth rate represents a sustained positive economic performance, especially for the non-oil sector, which contributed 95.66% to the nation's GDP in the fourth quarter of 2022, higher than the share recorded in the fourth quarter of 2021, which was 94.81%, and higher than the third quarter of 2022, recorded as 94.34%. Moreover, on aggregate, 94.33% was contributed in 2022, higher than 92.76% reported in 2021. The power sector, Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, has remained a critical priority for the administration. The implementation of a willing buyer unwilling seller policy introduced by this administration has opened up opportunities for increased delivery of electricity to undeserved homes and industries. We are also executing a number of critical projects through the Transmission, Rehabilitation and Expansion Program, which will result in achieving the national goal of improved power supply by 2020. To achieve this laudable objective, the following projects are being implemented to increase generation capacity. Zungero Power Plant, which is almost completed, and also Katsina Wind Farm Project at 97% of completion. Furthermore, to boost transmission and distribution, the 57.7 kilometer 132 kVA DC line from Yendev to Apio and 65.99 kilometer 33 kV single circuit line to Kashambila village are at the advanced stage of completion. This is expected to add 40 megawatts to the national grid. The first phase of the engineering or energizing education program implemented in 7 states is ongoing. The second phase, which is specifically focused at education and health institutions, has commenced in institutions benefiting from it. This administration achieved 100% completion of 6 projects under the Energizing Economies program in 5 states, including Lagos, which has 2 projects, Abia, Kano, Ogun, and Ondo states. It is important to 100% coverage in 2022. This was achieved through the deployment of Starlink internet services across the country, which has helped bridge the existing internet connectivity gap across rural communities in Nigeria, where other network operators could not deploy their services. I must at this point acknowledge the states that made this great feat possible by enforcing the 145 linear meter right of way charge. The multiplier effort or effect on the economy is unimaginable. 4G penetration across the country has also increased from 23% in 2019 to 80.86% as at Q4 2022. And yet again, this has been attributed to the increase in the number of users of G4 technology in most states in the country. Undoubtedly, we really can't go very far without each other. As a credit of this investment, the agriculture sector has also experienced phenomenal growth. Today, at the click of in the bid to strengthen the culture of performance management and sustain the enormous gains achieved, this government issued Executive Order Number 13 of 2022 to institutionalize the Central Delivery Coordinating Unit with the sole aim of tracking and supporting the implementation of presidential priorities, programs, and projects. The activation of the delivery unit has created a heightened culture of transparency and accountability in the entire system of government. ensuring razor-sharp focus on the delivery of agreed priorities, which has led to effective delivery of services that our citizens most rightly deserve. Today, at the click of a button, you can access government programs, policies, and projects with their course on the internet. Mr. President, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, it is important to provide some context to the handover documents that President Muhammadu Buhari will be presenting to the President-elect, His Excellency Bola Tinubu, Gcfr, today. The Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, with the support of our technical partners, via a presidential directive, set up the delivery unit to enable the tracking of ministerial deliverables and the 9 priority areas. These were then signed onto. 3 documents will be presented to the President-elect this morning. The first is a briefing note on each of the 9 priority areas, covering all sectors. The briefs are intended to provide relevant information that would help the new administration understand the peculiarities of each sector, including key issues within the sector that need immediate attention, highlights of quick wins, a mapping of the efforts of the Buhari administration in the areas where it finds alignment with the renewed hope agenda of the incoming administration. The novelty about this, Your Excellency, Mr. President and the President-elect, is that we took the renewed hope agenda and aligned it with the 9 priority areas. And where there are gaps, we indicated the gaps. And where there are improvements based on the renewed hope agenda, we indicated it and we stated what are the quick wins, what can be deferred for the future. So this is a comprehensive document you are receiving this afternoon. It's a combination of the effort of the President Muhammadu Buhari administration aligned with your vision for Nigeria. The briefs also provide key recommendations on how to improve sector outcomes. The second document you will be receiving, Your Excellency, this afternoon is a compendium which comprehensively captures the priority programs and projects implemented by the Buhari administration towards achieving the 9 priority areas. It displays a trend of analysis of annual budget performances from 2019. Every year, what is the budget performance? 80%, 100%, 50%, as achieved through the mandate of the 9 priority areas. Each ministry is catalogued into that. And a summary of the ministerial performance and scorecard for each ministry is detailed in this document. You take, for instance, Ministry of Education. What is the impact of that ministry on the citizens? If the mandate says they are going to increase enrollment with 2 million, what percentage of that 2 million have been achieved? And if it has not been fully achieved, what are the impediments? What were the constraints? Was it as a result of funding? Was it as a result of conflicting administration of that particular mandate? And what are the expected outcomes and the way out? So that is provided in this particular document. Policies and projects implemented throughout the period. It contains up-to-date information on what the outgoing government has accomplished, what is yet to be achieved, major challenges and the advisories for the future. The third document you are receiving this afternoon, Your Excellency, is Policy Status Update. In a bid to preserve institutional memory and support the efforts of the incoming administration, the policies implemented by all the ministries, extra-ministerial departments and agencies under the Buhari administration has been carefully compiled and organized to show the period each was developed, the key objectives of that policy, the status of implementation, the key achievements, and what remains to be done. So these are the three documents that are contained in the white box, which Mr. President will be handing over to you this afternoon. These documents represent years of hard work, strategic planning and implementation. They provide a comprehensive overview of the administration's achievements, ongoing projects, and priorities for the future. With the foundation laid by the President Muhammadu Buhari administration, President-elect His Excellency Bola Tinubu Gcfr has a solid platform to build upon and continue the journey towards a prosperous and thriving Nigeria. We hope the incoming administration will find these documents useful and utilize them as a basis for defining its policy direction. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is now my singular honor Yes, it's all good with them there.
Oh, everything together. Oh, okay. So the next thing we are doing is to invite the President. The transition documents are going to be handed over to the President-elect now by President Muhammadu Buhari. Then you have the pattern of service, which President Buhari will also hand over to the President-elect, Bola Tinubu Gcfr. You know that in a relay race, patterns are handed over. It shows you that governance and government is a long-distance race. Now, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let's please have our seats. And please, let's cut the noise that is coming from the back of the hall. This is a high-level event, and such kind of noise is not expected or appreciated. Please, let's control the noise coming from the back of the hall. The President-elect is going to make his speech shortly after the podium is set up. I hope you can recall that in 2015, at about this time, the noise in the country then was that there were no form of transition documents. No notes, no reports, nothing. But you can see the difference today. The President has signed Executive Order 14, which mandated the Transition Council to prepare all that we have seen now. And it's going to be a culture in the country because it's already a law. You won't have any other government succeeding another government, and there are no records at all because Executive Order 14 has mandated that every government does this before a new government comes in. Thank you. I think we should give a round of applause. Thank you. My pleasure to call on the President-elect, His Excellency Bola Tinubu, to make his response. You're welcome, sir.
Your Excellency, Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari and his wife, Her Excellency Ajia Aisha Buhari. Your Excellency, the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. My wife, Tinubu. Thank you.